Q&A. Sorry, I'm a minute late getting on. I had it all set up, and as soon as I went to hit go live, my computer froze. So I had to kind of shut out of everything and then start over. So how's everybody doing this week? If this is your first time joining, welcome. And when you get on, please put your name and either state or country where you're from, and that enters you into the live drawing. On my end, it just comes through as Facebook user, so I just need your name. And I am here to answer all of your training and behavior questions tonight. Excited to be here. Usually I try to pick a topic while people are jumping on. Let me think of what I can talk about. Hey, Brian. You're the first one on. Okay, so I'll be taking down names as people are jumping on and entering them in the drawing. Oh, hey, Nicole. Yeah, no problem. If you need to leave, that's totally fine. What time zone are you in Oklahoma? Are you Mountain Time or Central Time? Because I think we'll be done around 7. We'll be done by 7. I sometimes have a class on Wednesday nights at Central Time, so you're an hour later. Okay, yeah, just leave whenever you have to. I think you can go back and view these lives, right? So I will, in the chat, I will put who won. So, yeah. So glad you could join us at least for an hour. Okay, so I had a really interesting case today. This is a dog. This is a rescue, and this poor dog has probably, I mean, who knows what his past is. He's kind of a hot little mess, and those kind of dogs are actually my favorite. But he does not like to be groomed, and he's a dog that has to be groomed. So when the owners try to groom him, he will actually bite. So we've started low stress handling cooperative care and getting him used to like a lot of different things. But the owners want to be able to, get him in a bathtub and, bathe him and trim him. So today we worked on just getting him to go in the bathroom, out, walk in, come out, walk in, come out. And because when you're working with dogs that don't like to be handled, you always want to go at their pace and allow them to be able to back away and say stop. So we are actually going to be starting what's called the bucket game with him. But in the meantime, I did like a little Hansel and Gretel trail of treats up to the bathtub, and then I put them along the edge of the bathtub, and then I put some treats in the bathtub, but we didn't get far enough for him to actually jump in. Now he's big enough that he could have reached in and grabbed him, but he didn't want to. We did not close the door on him. Owner says, what happens if we close the door? And I said, then we lose his trust. And right now he has an escape route. So if he's not comfortable, he can back away. So, so we did that. And then we did some counter conditioning with grooming brush. He also has an autoimmune disorder, which causes his nose to scab. So we did some work with the cream that he has to have on his nose, with the grooming brush, and the main takeaway for this is that you've got to go at the dog's pace. So I totally let him back away anytime he wasn't comfortable. But what I did is I would bring out, so we'll say that my phone is the medicine or the, brush or whatever. So I would bring that out first, then treat, and then stop. So then the scary thing, the thing he doesn't like, predicts the good thing, which is the treat. And then I put my hands behind my back. And we did that for a little bit. And then when he seemed like really calm and was excited to see the medicine, then I just started to put the medicine like reach towards his nose and then treat. But I didn't get all the way to his nose. So it's challenging, but it's fun because you work at the dog's pace. Um, and you read body language, and you make sure that they're calm. I was actually able to put medicine on the dog's nose without him even trying to bite. Um, and I was able to like brush a little bit. So once he got kind of like was laying down, was pretty calm, and I showed him the brush, let him sniff it, just touched him with it. Then I started to do like really short, easy strokes. So there's a lot of information out there now on cooperative care and um, allowing the dog to like help with their treatment, but also understand that they have the power to say no. So as soon as the dog, we're starting a thing called the bucket game, which I've talked about on here before with Chirag Patel. But you basically have like a cup or a bucket of treats, and when the dog is looking at the bucket, then that means yes, go ahead. And you work up to this so that the dog learns it. Hey, Mary. So when the dog's looking at the bucket, that means go, and then you can start to, comb or trim nails or, put medicine on, whatever. If the dog looks away from the bucket or the cup and looks away and looks at like, okay, what are you doing? Then that means stop, and you stop. So when dogs have the ability to have a stop cue, that means don't do it, without having to growl or bite or mouth, it makes it so much easier. And sometimes it can take several months to get a dog up to where like you can groom them, you can trim their nails, stuff like that. But it's so much easier on the animal when you don't have to restrain and you don't have to muzzle them. And just because this poor dog, you can't even see his eyes. So they may have to go to the vet and get something to like totally sedate the dog and then shave him down, and then start to work on grooming with the hair short while it's growing, if that makes sense. Brian, how can I teach Gracie to give hugs? Yeah, so there is a way. I kind of lure it. I haven't done it with my dogs, but I've done it with one of my former dogs. And what I did is I just kind of lured with a treat. So I would have a treat and lured him up, and then kind of shaped it. So I would sit on the ground, um, have the dog come up, follow the treat up, and then click and treat, and then kind of go a little bit farther until like, and you might have to like even put it back here so that you can get one paw up and then the other paw up. I'm not sure that's going to eliminate the jumping, because the dog has to kind of jump, or is still going to be kind of jumping up, if that makes sense. And what can happen is, if we teach dogs like, okay, give me hugs, then if somebody comes over, they may jump up trying to get up to give a hug. Does that make sense? So they're like, oh, I give hugs now, so, but I can't reach up where they are, so I need to jump. So just be careful of that, so that the dog doesn't start to jump because they're trying to get, up here to give hugs. But yeah, you could definitely try it, and then put it on a verbal cue. And then if you don't give the verbal cue to give hugs, then then Gracie shouldn't be jumping. So only when you say, like, give me hugs, should she jump up. But that's kind of how I did it. And with Piglet, like, it sort of came natural to him. Like, it didn't take very long to teach him how to do it on cue. The reason that I don't do it with Jade, I thought about doing it with Jade, but she is an aggressive face licker. Like, she will stick her tongue down your throat. She loves to, like, lick your whole face. So when I've tried to teach her just to hug, when she gets right here, she can't help but, like, lick, 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 lick. So I sort of stopped trying to teach her how to just give hugs, because once she gets up there, it's like licking. So, but yeah, you could try that, and I would just lure it and shape it. So, the other thing that you could do for unwanted jumping is, I teach my dog an up. So, like, I'll go, up, or just, like, pat my hips and say up, and that tells my dogs that it's okay to jump up, and then they know an off. So if they jump up when I don't want them to, I'll say off, and then I'll ask them to sit or lay down or do something else. But they don't get any attention unless I invite them up. So you could go about it that route as well, where you teach them, you invite them to jump up, or you ask them to sit or lay down for attention. So yeah, you could do either one of those and just put it on cue. In fact, if you look at my face, I think it's on my Facebook page. I think one of the profile pictures is Piglet giving me a hug. So somebody took a picture of it, and so I think it's been my profile picture since Piglet passed away, which was years ago. So it tells you how long it's been. I don't change pictures very often. Mary, I got a new 9-month-old rescue. Congratulations. She is housebroke, but eats his poop as soon as he goes. Vet said some dogs just do that. Any suggestions? I had a dog that was a poop eater, and I tried everything. Putting stuff in the food. What I ended up doing is just going out with her, and if she was trying to eat the other dog's poop, then I would just tell her leave it, and then I would pick it up right as the other dog was going, so that she didn't have a chance to eat it. And then I would do that with her as well. So I would just go out with her, and as soon as she started to squat, I was right there ready to pick it up. Because some dogs just do it, and I've read, like, sometimes it can be their diet or something lacking from their diet, but she was fed pretty good food. So but yeah, her whole life she did that. So I would never let her, like, lick my mouth, because chances are she had eaten poop, like, if I wasn't outside. So when I'm not outside, then there's really nothing I can do. But I would try to go out with her and the other dogs and just clean it up right when it happens, just so they can't practice that. So that's what I would do. Like I said, I've tried all of the, stuff you put on, put in their food to make it not taste good, and none of that seemed to work. And she would eat hers and the other dogs. So I'm not sure like what was up with that, but yeah, she was a big poop eater. So I finally got to the point of just cleaning it up quickly so that she couldn't eat it. Yeah, Wilma. Yeah, I mean, I have not been able to break Jade of it, and it's like you can't breathe. Like she licks so fast that it's hard to breathe. Um, and I shut my mouth when she's licking because I don't want her to stick her tongue in my mouth, and then she'll like lick my nose and stuff so hard that it's like I can't breathe. Um, so yeah, that's why we don't do hugs. Okay, great questions. Who else has a question? Let me go back and make sure I didn't miss anybody. Um, okay, Brian, are you the one that was doing the recall mastery? Because they did send me a copy of it. I haven't had a chance to go through it yet because I've been insanely busy. But um, if it is you, I think it is, let me know which level you're stuck at. And I will go through and try to look at that. Yes, Nicole, the same thing. If I'm like, oh, Jade, stop. As soon as I open my mouth, her tongue is in my mouth. So, so I have like a tiny nose piercing right here, and she will lick so aggressively that she's pulled it out before. And, luckily, like she hasn't swallowed it. It's really teeny tiny, but yeah, she's pulled that out before. She's the worst face licker I've ever had. Um, so yeah, I totally get that. Um, Otherwise, tell me what else you guys have been working on, either with your dogs or um, with the, in the Pupford group. Um, if there's something specific that you're working on or a program you're going through, I'd love to hear about that. And let's see, give me 1 second. I'm going to get my cat off of here. Okay. My cat's been cooped up most of the day because I was gone, so I left the dog door open for the dogs. But the cat has learned how to use a dog door, and I don't want her outside because I live on a main highway. So I'm trying to get her out and get her a little bit of exercise right now. Oh, so Nicole's been going on different hikes. That's awesome. Um, that brings up something else. I had a client today tell me that their dog's a little bit shy, timid, and so she says every time they go somewhere new, the dog is like a little unsure and a little skittish. And dogs like don't generalize well. Um, so eventually, like I told her to try to do outings, a few times a week and go like to new trails and new places and go to Home Depot and go to Petco or PetSmart or something like that. And just make it a really positive experience. And then pretty soon, then the dogs will start to generalize. But so I think that's great that you're going on different hikes. Um, I try to do that with my dogs too, mainly for just a change of scenery for me. My dogs really don't care where they go as long as they get to go run and play in the water and, um, chase squirrels that they're never going to catch. But it's fun for them to do it. So, Nicole, do you guys have like a major forest there or anything? I don't think I've ever been to Oklahoma. I may have driven through part of it, but I never like actually really been there. I've been to Montana. Montana's beautiful. I think if I ever retire, I either want to go to Montana or Idaho. Um, or Oregon, because I love rain. Moose saw a family of raccoons this weekend. He really wanted them. Oh, I bet. Yeah, those suckers can actually be like really mean. If you've ever cornered a raccoon, they will growl at you, and you do not want to get bit by a raccoon. So I'm glad, like, hopefully you had Moose on a leash so that he couldn't go after the raccoons. Hey, Renee. Because yeah, those raccoons can be really nasty. Okay. So I'll put Brian. I'm assuming Brian's coming too. Okay. Okay, what else you got? So yeah, going on different hikes, different areas is really good to have your dog explore and learn new areas. Mm. Yeah, I love rain, so I have to live where it rains. Black Mesa, about 2 hours away in Palo Duro. I have not heard of that, but at least you get to go hiking. Um, One thing I like about Utah is we have desert and mountains. So where I live right at the base of the Uinta Mountains. Hey Brian, I already put you down because I figured you'd be here. So and then you can drive for about 4 hours and be down in the desert and Red Rock and stuff like that. So I actually get to hike like a lot of different terrains and stuff. So it's fun. Hey, kitty, stop. My cat's decided that my bag is for nail sharpening. And she has a scratch post, but she doesn't use it. So, um, okay, he was on leash. He was pulling really bad for them. Yeah. Sometimes when dogs see something that they want to go after, it can be hard to like pull them back. Um, my dogs did that with not the dogs I have now, but my very first two pit bulls. They did that with a skunk, and one pulled so hard she snapped a leather leash, like snapped it, and got away from me. So both of my dogs got sprayed. Um, it was not fun. One of my pit bulls it was so friendly with all other animals. Like I could have him around chickens, sheep. Like he loved everything. So he was following the skunk around like a dog, trying to sniff its butt. So he got sprayed like 4 or 5 times. I mean, he was covered. My other dog, unfortunately, killed the skunk, and she's the one that broke the leather leash, and I couldn't grab her. So, um, I have a bunch of um, biothane leashes, and I really like it. I haven't had any snap or break yet, so hopefully, fingers crossed. Um, Renee, the video you posted of the dog finally being good at recall gave us hope. Oh, good. I can't even remember um which video. Was it on Instagram? Is that the one? Because some of the Instagram. I mean, I look at all the Instagram, but I pay somebody to do all the posts because I'm really dumb at doing like social media and reels and stuff. So somebody does it for me. And then we both like share content. So I'm not sure exactly which one. But yeah, glad it. Oh, white and brown smaller dog. Yeah, that was probably one that Caitlin posted. But yeah, I mean, I've had Jade for 2 years, and she's just now starting to be a little bit more reliable off leash when I call her. So it definitely takes time and consistency, but it pays off. So, oh yeah, I don't even know what my dogs would do if they saw an armadillo. They would probably be like, "Oh my gosh, what is that?" Can dogs? Could a dog kill an armadillo, or do they have like a hard? I mean, I've seen pictures of them and seen them in movies. I've never seen one live, but so I don't know if they have like a hard back, like kind of like a turtle, or if a dog would be able to get one. I'm gonna look at our um, I'm gonna look at our Instagram and see which dog it was. Let me tell you. Oh, yes, that's actually Caitlin's dog. So, um, she's been working with her dog a lot. So that's actually her own personal dog. Peyton is good on the tie out in the yard, not so much when we let her off. Yeah, and it definitely depends on where you're at. Um, because like there's some places where Jade has a really good recall, but other places off leash, I don't say COME because I know she's probably not going to do it. But I whistle. I'll whistle or say like, Jade over here, and then she usually will come. And then as she's running towards me, then I'll say, "Oh, good, come," and then make it really super fun and give her high value treats. So yeah, there are definitely situations and locations where I don't use my recall word because I am not 100% sure that she's going to do it. It's interesting that my foster dog that I'm adopting, and since he's been in a cart for the first little while, um, he has a better recall than any of my other dogs, and I haven't really worked with him. But if I go out in the yard and call him, he will come running across the yard. And it's the cutest thing because he can actually walk and run now. So um, I just put him in puppy class. Even though he's almost 2, I have somebody shadowing my classes. And so I wanted to give this kid a dog to kind of work with. So I have somebody taking Willie through puppy class just to learn the basics. Now that he can walk and run, I thought, well, now we got to train him. So yeah, I thought armadillo had shells, but I wasn't sure. Let's see. Nicole says Moose is odd with recalls. In class, he just kind of moseys on over to me, but out places where he is having fun, he runs back when I call. That's actually awesome. So, like, my dog is the opposite. If we're in class, she will come because she knows we're in class. I have to demonstrate. This is what we do. But if we're not in class and she's off leash, and if she's sniffing, like if she's outside and she's sniffing, it's like she turns off. Her brain turns off from me. Like she won't listen. So I still work with her on a long line a lot of times. So if we're out, we'll do long line stuff with her just so I can reinforce it. And sometimes we'll do that on purpose. So I take her out on a long line and then we practice some recalls. I reward her, let her go, practice more recalls, reward her, then tell her to go play again. So she learns that she comes back, gets a treat, gets to go again. Comes back, gets a treat, gets to go again. So, yeah, so it's kind of a game, and it's always fun for her. So I try to make it as fun as possible. But she's probably the most difficult dog that I've had to teach a recall to, honestly. Just because she's also one that loves to sniff. Like her nose is always on the ground, wants to sniff everything. So, especially if we're in a new area or new environment, or if we're up hiking, like she's just going to be sniffing everything. So, I did get, I was taking this rattlesnake aversion training. And so this is actually rattlesnake sheds that are in this glass bottle. So then I'm teaching her that when she smells this, that she leaves it and comes the other way. So I'm actually taking a class where we don't use shock collars. Most people that are, not most, but around here at least, a lot of the classes that are taught using shock collars. So that the dog associates the rattlesnake with pain, and so that they want to leave it. This is like an all positive reinforcement, science-based training where the dog just associates the smell with like running to me and then getting rewarded. So it's been actually really interesting. Oh, Nicole, I actually signed up for Ken's class. And I got an email. I don't know exactly when it's starting, but I did sign up like right on the 20th. So it got to be kind of a lot for me to drive down to where this other class was, because it was over an hour. And so I'm still kind of just working on my own, but I did sign up to take Ken's class. So I'm really excited to do that. Okay. You guys have any more questions? We have a small group tonight, but if we don't have any more questions, I can do a drawing. And I can let everybody go early, but if you have more questions, let me know. I've kind of run out of things to talk about. I'm not one that likes to talk just to talk, but I'm happy to stay on for as long as people have questions. I can try to, Jay. Oh, I was gonna see if I could lure Jade into a hug, Brian, and show you how, but I've got my other dog and a cat out. So if I have treats, all the dogs that are in the house are going to be like right there. Jade's having a small little meltdown right now because the cat is on Jade's dog bed, and Jade wants to lay down but doesn't dare lay down next to the cat, because my dogs have a very healthy respect for cats. Is she on your bed, Jade? Is she on your bed? My very first cat taught my dogs how to respect cats. So now this one is like so chill and so calm, but my dogs are kind of scared of her. Okay, well, let's do a drawing, even though we have a small group tonight, and that just increases your chances of winning. Oh, sometime in August. Yeah. I mean, I think I got an email with a receipt and stuff, so I'm assuming they'll email me when it's going to start. But yeah, I'm excited to take it, and then I don't have to drive. Okay, I've got to get my little bowl. Okay, tonight's winner is Brian Moreland from Montana. So, congratulations, Brian. So, Brian, you need to email hello@pupford.com. I just put it in the chat, and let them know what kind of treats you want, and they will mail them out to you. You probably know what their flavors are, but they've got chicken, beef liver, rabbit, salmon, and sweet potato. So pick one that you haven't tried before. I have found with my own clients that salmon is always a safe bet. Like the dogs love the smell, so you can't go wrong with salmon. But I also like, I use beef liver and rabbit a lot as well. So, okay, guys. Well, it's a short one tonight, but that's okay. It's still light out for most people. So, thanks for joining, and have a great week. And we will see you next week. Next week we'll probably either do Wednesday or Thursday. Oh yeah, salmon works. Yeah, I give my cat salmon treats as well, and she loves them. So she's kind of on a diet though, so I can't give her too many, even though these are only 1 calorie, which is really good. But yeah, my cat's on a diet. Okay, thanks for joining, guys, and we will see you next week.